Hello, and thank you for tuning in. This is Joanne Francis, and today I want to add an addendum, or a part two, if you will, to my most previous recording about how we read each other's energy, and because of the fear that has been instilled in us, that we have been formatted to and we have been conditioned by, it is this fear that is prohibiting us from meeting new people and getting to know new people and develop and co-create possibly some of the most wonderful relationships that you may have, whether it be with neighbors or family members or new people, strangers from other countries. It really is the understanding of just how our personal energy systems, these patterns of energy that flow through us and surround us, it is how we circumnavigate one another's power systems that can make or break that very important moment in time that will allow you to open the door for all the possibilities that this beautiful divine universe can bestow on us, or it will shut the door. And depending on your own personal pattern, it may not only be shut, but it may be bolted, it may be blocked over and nailed up with boards, because we have been mistrained. We have been trained to misunderstand and not understand, if you will, just exactly what is going on when we meet new people. And this is stemming from the beautiful story I shared in my previous recording. And it was that moment of my own personal organic divinity that I spoke of, that I want to go into just a little deeper. As I mentioned in the previous recording, that we tend to misread the fear that another person is giving off. And we react to that fear, which is, again, a normal reaction. And what we have to work at, what we have to put into practice, is to stop and not let the fear take over that brief moment in time. As we continued our walk on Sunday, we did meet some new people, some new friends, and they were so lovely for the simple fact that when we said hello to them from the street, they actually came out of the yard and greeted us. And I want to share this extremely important aspect of that meeting. There were several of us there, and two of us, myself and this homeowner, both felt and ignored the very fear that took over us when we got within each other's own personal power system, and we ignored the fear that we felt. It didn't register, it didn't land. We were both in this beautiful place that we knew that we could move forward and beyond it, although truly we both have been trained to think and do the opposite. We are from different cultures, and we have both been at this cultural war for forever. And over the course of in this last decade, the divisiveness between these two cultures is palpable. It's become violent because everybody wants everybody to understand one another. And in that brief moment, it was so beautiful that it didn't register until after I made this recording, the previous recording, that he and I practiced and were successful at the very point of that audio recording. We did not allow the fear to influence the beauty of that moment of meeting new people. We both were open to whatever it was. We both were nervous to be open to whatever it was. as an energy reader myself, as I have been studying and learning and understanding what these energy systems are within us, and equally how we read and feed off of one another's energy, I knew the energy and the thoughts that were coursing through him. And it's very possible he was doing the same. But the point of this part 2 is for you to see that beautiful organic divinity, that it is possible, and that without even knowing it, we were practicing exactly what this beautiful universe needs right now, that this earth needs now, that this town needs now, that the state, the country, the world. We have to learn to move beyond that fear, as this individual and I did. And it's important for us to understand, when I speak of the fear that the both of us, that the fear that the individual and I may have possessed at that moment of meeting one another, was not the fear of safety. Not at all. It was the fear of acceptance. That can I be accepted for the culture and my background, and for them the same? Would I accept them for their cultures and their background? Because of the stories and the narratives and the pure hatred and the want and need to spread fear to gain power in this country specifically, that we both would have been, it would have been normal for us to ignore that situation and not meet and co-create a new relationship despite our background differences. And that is what is going on. That is the essence of this perspective. That it's that 1 second that we can push through and move forward and expand our divine spirituality. It is too easy for us to do the opposite. And I witnessed that opposite as we continued our walk and as we said hello to people in their yards, and who was open to meeting new people, regardless of their fear. I see the fear, the quick instant fear, and it's because we don't know how the other feels about the rest of the world. And we witnessed people be open and welcome to whatever it was that that beautiful moment in time was going to create. And we witnessed the opposite of that, of people, after saying hello, just kept on about their business as if we weren't there. And that is okay. It's not a judgment, you see. It is the simple understanding as we walk this earth and we meet people and we greet strangers, that whatever their response is okay. It's not any longer that we feel that they are disinterested because of our differences. It is simply because we are all at our own particular time and path. It is simply because we are all, although on the same path of this beautiful, divine, universally divine conscious spirituality, that we must understand and develop and see these individuals compassionately instead of judgmentally, and allow them to be wherever it is they need to be for their own sakes. It's not about what they are or are not doing and for me, with me, etc. It is simply my understanding that it's okay that they be wherever it is they are. That is the important message of why we need to see this perspective of just how we influence one another for the good, for the bad, for the ugly. Some people will throw their ugliness intentionally because they are at this low point in their life that they don't know anything else. And perhaps by our showing that brief moment of compassion, it can lift their spirits and it can push them forward on their path, because we're all after the very same thing. It's to be happy, to be joyful, to see the beauty that the world possesses in just everything. The littlest things, the biggest things, the obvious, the not obvious. Seeing the tractor plowing the field and sowing the seed for the food that is going to feed our families. It's that simplicity of thought and beauty that our world needs right now. And it's through this organic divinity of understanding that we have that power within us to change the power within others simply by allowing one another to be wherever they are. And our own personal survival, our given gift of this beautiful physical body of ours, of this energy system that we all know of as the fight or flight, but we have that within our energy system. And when danger is present, your energy system will tell you to go. So work through that in moment, that nanosecond or two of fear. It's natural for us to fear strangers, but we have to understand that we can work through it and allow our personal energetic systems to tell us that we are okay. And as I say this story, as I share this message, the organic divinity continues. For my own personal experience, very, very early this morning, when taking my dog for her walk, that somebody came upon us, and I did not get scared, but I stopped and made sure that I was reading the energy to know whether I needed to be scared. There was no fear from this individual. And I hope that they registered that there wasn't fear that was coming from me, but that it was me evaluating the situation as to whether I should be fearful or not. And that is exactly what they did. And they were kind enough to turn their flashlight on, and they were kind enough to say that it was so cold this morning that the woman he walked with on a regular basis didn't want to go walking with him. And so he knew my energy system. Whether he read it or not, I would suggest his age told him that somebody could be nervous and scared at 5 a.m. when it's dark outside. And I am grateful that the perspectives that I develop every single day about how to use this beautiful energy system within me to allow me to walk through this world and enjoy this world and know that I am always protected, not just by my divine Lord God, but that I am protected by this beautiful energy system that flows through me and surrounds me, and that I am able to emanate the beauty of the world that is the world we live in. What a wonderful way to be. And what a wonderful way for us to put into practice how we can expand our divine, beautifully designed divine universe. What a wonderful way to be.